Call this meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Morris,
Here.
Mrs. Thompson. Here. Mr. Gray,
Here.
Mr. Bittner,
Here.
Mrs. Wong. Here. Mr. Elam,
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here. First up tonight, we have a public hearing on resolution number 2026-R-22, a resolution approving the 2027 budget. Will the administrative director please provide a brief explanation of the resolution?
Resolution is a village that was approved last year. At the end of last year, the number stayed the same and then that changed. And basically, I think the funds are carried over is only 5.3%. So once we budget everything together, so we did make sure that we get this as much as Lake County who will ultimately decide the number.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions from the audience on the resolution? Hearing none. We will now hear from persons who wish to speak in favor of the resolution. If anybody wishes to speak in favor, please come to the lectern, state your name and address for the record. Hearing none. We will now hear from people who wish to oppose and speak against the resolution. Yeah, nothing. And would any member of council wish to comment on the resolution? Okay, then we will close this public hearing at 7:02 PM. Now, we will move on to approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of council, June 23rd, 2026. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Yes.
Yes, during the public portion, a lady on Southwood is mentioned as Sherry Pelosi. Her actual name is Palugi. Palugy.
Any other additions or corrections to the minutes?
I make a motion, we correct that.
Motion to amend by Mr. Morris, second by Mr. Gray. Correct the name. Roll call on the amendment, please.
Mr. Morris,
Aye.
Mrs. Thompson. Aye. Mr. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Bittner.
Aye.
Ms. Wong. Aye. Mr. Elam.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye. Motion to approve as amended.
So made.
Motion made by Ms. Wong, seconded by Mr. Gray. Roll call, please.
Mr. Morris,
Aye.
Ms. Thompson. Aye. Mr. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Bittner.
Aye.
Ms. Wong. Aye. Mr. Elam.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye. Correspondence. Does anybody have any correspondence this evening they wish to share? We know, move on to administrative department head reports. Mayor and Safety Director, Mr. Eva, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Johnson, members of council, public here this evening. I'd like to start off with, we have a couple representatives from Republic this evening. If they can get up and talk a little bit about our services in the city. Dan.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dan Gibbon. I'm the municipal manager for public services. And with me is Kurt Sharp. He's our operation manager. Wanted to come before council tonight to express our apologies with regards to some of the service related issues we had recently. We've had issues similar to what a lot of businesses are. As usually we hire individuals to help out in the summertime. We have difficulty finding people that want to do that type of work. We've had difficulty finding, additional drivers to help with increased loads for the springtime. That allowed us to fall into a state of, I'll just say, a lack of proper collection for a period of about a month or so. That it caused problems. We don't want to shy away from the issues that we have. lot of plans in place. Putting plans in place to do additional hiring, to get that going, and then, you know, I'm readily available. I know that Jacqueline or Kenny, whenever they send out a request to us with regards to specific problems, we try and, you know, get those resolved within 24 hours. If I can go out to my car and get you guys all individual cards, my contact information. If you have individual issues, you can contact me at any time, and there are times where we're just not aware of something, where somebody's missing. But we're increasing the technology on the trucks. We've got cameras on the trucks now, so cameras inside and outside the truck, so if somebody calls up and they have a specific question with regards to a specific address, we can pull the video, take pictures of it to show whether or not the material is out there on a certain day, whether or not. Not that we're not gonna come back and service you other than that, but that information allows us to hopefully service. So I don't know if anybody had specific questions or concerns that they specifically would like us to address. We wanted to stand before you and say, we understand that there was a period of time where we weren't doing things according to our current, our long-term standards. We wanted to apologize.
Yes, Mrs. Thompson.
I just want to say, I know all of our residents in the community have been affected. And I, for one, I just was affected last week. So we did the thing and we submitted a claim or, you know, a ticket to say that we had a missed pickup for recycling. They said, okay, leave it out. We'll come back the next day. They came back the next day. The guy got out of the truck, lifted the lid, closed the lid, got back in the truck and took off. I have video.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that. I'd have to investigate it more. My only thought is that maybe he saw that it wasn't like he thought it was trash or vice versa, if it was a trash.
Well, it was Thursday. So, and our pickup day is on Wednesday.
Yes, but for the person that came back.
Okay. I mean, we do have different color cans though, too. So green is recycle, blue is trash or garbage. So it was a green can that was out. So, I mean, I would think that I know green is recycle. I would hope that the drivers know that green is recycle as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe that. I'd have to investigate it for safety.
Yeah. That's all right. I mean, like I said, I know it's not just me. It's all of the residents and I feel for all of them. But it's just my recycle's full and I don't know what I'm gonna do with all my recycles for next week.
Yeah, like I said, I'll go out and get each one of you my business card. The sooner we know about an issue, it allows us to investigate faster, look for the video and see what's going on. And if somebody isn't doing their job properly, if we have a driver or a service oriented person that's not doing it, we want to know about that as well. So we can get that. So I don't know what the best format is for your community with regards to getting information, the detailed information to me or to Kurt. You know, when it happens, whether it's you go to the office or whether you wanted to email us direct. That's entirely up to you, I guess, in terms of the process the city wants to go. But
And I would just like to keep it fair for all of the residents. I don't want
Our
us to have special treatment over the residents. I want everyone to have the same treatment.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, our goal is we want to get back to where we were, where there were no mistakes that were made, there were no misses that were declared. And then we, you know, regular drive around here a while, so that we can just know it in and out. Perfectly.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Wall.
I'd like to thank both of you for coming and for addressing this. I also appreciate the acknowledgement that there have been issues. I think the service that we've received from Republic in the past has been so good that these changes were apparent to everyone almost right away. I've had several residents complain and many are asking why we should re-up with Republic the next time the contract comes around. That's sort of how frustrated folks have been. So I appreciate that you've acknowledged there have been problems. We can understand those when we know about them and we can pass that message along. I guess my question really is other than reporting incidents as soon as possible to be sure that management knows, do you anticipate that this understaffing will be going on for much longer? Or what sort of expectation can we have residents prepare for?
And we can follow up with you, and, you know. However you would like, 60 days, 90 days, come back, or somebody can send information back and forth, so we can tell you, all right, this is what we've done, this is how we're improving things. Both myself, and Kurt came, we wanted to address it, we were also planning on having the local route supervisor here. He was here, but then we sent him back to the shop, something is going on in the shop. And then our general manager, who oversees the entire region, he was also supposed to be here, but he came down and.
I think a 60 to 90 day update sounds like a fantastic idea.
Yeah, so
I think communication goes a long way to just helping everybody understand what's going on, and it sort of keeps the lid on the hottest complaints.
Okay. Would you like just to automatically schedule it, or Mayor, do you want to reach out for 60 days? You can look at, I mean, obviously, you don't want me here when you have a full agenda, you have a lighter agenda.
I want you here all the time.
Yeah, so we'll come back, you know, whenever you would like us to, I'd say, you know, like I said, give us 30, 60 days, see what's going on, tell me, you know, you all can email me and tell me direct what your thoughts are, if we're still failing somewhere, that I'm not aware of, and, we have to get right back on again. But
Thank you.
we think, you know what we can do, we want to get back there as soon as possible.
I know that some residents have had issues, we talked about, but, I've had no issues on Miami. Drivers are very friendly, they wave at me, they get out and pick up trash. I know there's issues, and I believe all that, but I just want you to know that it's not all negative. Miami Road, your guys do a good job there, and I do appreciate, what they do.
Thank you. It's a thankless job, we understand. One thing that you could do to help too, or to inform your residents, if you log onto our website, there's a section in there that you click on, it's called Track My Truck. The residents have the ability to create their own account. They can go on there, put their email address on. Once we have that information, we don't flood you with marketing emails or anything, but if our driver's gonna be late, if there's an ongoing issue with, you know, a truck breaks down, we've had service related issue where our truck, we've lost 2 trucks within the last, I'd say, 45 days. Just due to catastrophic fires because people are putting these lithium batteries from their computers and everything in the trash, and when it gets compacted, you know, the trucks just go up quick. So, but when that happens, obviously it affects everybody's service for that day or the next. When it happens, we send out messages to people if we have their personal information in our system. Like I said, it's helpful to the residents, it's, you know, they might get too much information, but for those people that are interested in it, you can actually log on and actually see, you know, if the truck has been in your neighborhood again. Say you come home at 2 o'clock and you know, driver's always here by 10, not ready to pick up my trash. You can log on and find out whether he was actually there yet or whether he's truly been late. Well, I'd say give it a try.
Anyone else?
Yeah, if you don't have the internet or access to the internet or the website, can you register a phone number to get a call back or
I'm
something?
pretty sure you can do it in text.
That's,
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
guys would like to leave. I don't know. Since you'll be back in 30 or 60.
I'm not get some cards.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
On July 1st, we experienced a citywide power outage. Anytime you experience a power outage, please call First Energy at 1-888-LIGHTS. That's 1-888-544-4877 to report your loss of power. This gives First Energy an accurate count of the number of customers without power in our city. By reporting your outage, First Energy will provide you with an update on when they expect the power to be restored. Once they have restored power, they will call you back to make sure your power is back on. Our dispatchers at City Hall handle emergency and non-emergency calls for the police and fire departments. They may or may not know the estimated time when the power will come back on.
Thank you very much. Here's-
Thank you.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
By calling our dispatchers, this may lead to longer response times for those needing our safety or services. We had a little glitch on July 1st. Some got notices the power was back on at 10:30. It was not back on at 10:30. The power didn't come back on until around 1 a.m. I'm still waiting for a response from Wendy Zealy as to what exactly the mix-up was. I talked to her the day after, I emailed her over the weekend, I still don't have a response. The day after, the power went out, she did send me, from First Energy, a 3-year plan that runs across Ohio. The estimate over the next 3 years is for $83 million annually for tree trimming and vegetation management, $800 million annually to upgrade equipment and improve facilities and technology. My answer response to her was, that's all great for Ohio. What are you gonna do for Mentor Lake? I still don't have an answer for that. As far as dispatch and the police department, I sent out today the police report for June. If you looked at the complaints received in June were 894. May was 659 complaints, which is up 235 month to month. So I think doing the math, we figured that's about 30 a day that the police department is handling. That's why we need to get more of our residents texting First Energy, calling to let them know rather than calling here to ask when the power is going to come back on. The fire department report for June. For June 2026, there were 113 calls for service, 30 fire, 83 rescue BMS. Of those 83 calls, 3 were for invalid assist. There was 1 call requiring Narcan due to an overdose. Department training for June, EMS drills, the topic was geriatric trauma. The monthly shift drills, EMS was hypothermic patient, wireless fire behavior. Department members were part of the Lake County Hazmat team, attended training. Department captains attended shift officer training. During the month, the fire department hosted 2 station tours. The department submitted federal grant applications for assistance to firefighters grant, staffing for adequate fire and emergency response grant, fire prevention and safety grant. The annual ground ladder testing was completed. Inspections, 6001 Marine Parkway. There was a detector inspection. Lucky Dogs, they did a follow-up inspection. Andrews Place, 7766 Salida. They followed up on a fire alarm malfunction. Giant Eagle on Andrews, they did a sprinkler inspection. Service anniversaries in June, firefighter Wheeler, 7 years, firefighter Berkeley, 2 years. Through the second quarter of 2026, there were a total of 764 calls for service. This is an increase of 100 calls from 2025. The call breakdown, 231 fire service calls, 533 rescue EMS calls. Of those 533, 78 calls for invalid assist, 2 calls for an overdose requiring Narcan. I also got notice from Chief Chasko. They were given a $2,700 equipment grant for fire equipment. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Administrative Director, Mrs. Valentine, good evening.
Evening. I saw something in reference to ordinance 26-0-. The deadline for sale is August 3rd. Also, there's some additional language that was required. One is it's a computer agreement that automatically will be used for another year unless we revoke our participation writing by the end of 2029. And to be agreed and be not apply for grants under small states for states to programs. However, first small state, that is access to federal funding that is not realistically.
Okay, thank you. Law Director, Mr. Zeman, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of council, members of public administration. Coming off of vacation, I want to express my appreciation and we kind of worked with me on that. And I really appreciate it. So with that, I have the public towards time.
Thank you. City Engineer, Mr. Parker, good evening.
Good evening. Just two real quick things. One is, we did do a visit to Southland, Mr. Severino and myself. And I think he was enlightened by a lot of the residents that were out to talk to him and show him examples of why it was not right. He is committed to coming back. Now, if I can get him to answer a call or a text, I'll tell you when. So,
Impressed he made it out of the city alive, but
so we're hoping that's this week. I'm guessing.
you have a police escort for that? I'm just curious.
He sent me a text that he's traveling until Thursday. So I'm guessing it's not gonna be this week. Lastly, we opened the storm sewer repair project bids and we got 2 bids. Our estimate was 165,000. The bids came in at 147 and 95. So good bids. Hopefully we'll get those. We'll definitely have a recommendation for next council meeting.
Thank you. Chief Forsyth.
One thing. Your police department, your officers are doing a fantastic job. We're in a great place right now. I'm happy with every single one. I wish I could give them all awards, but that would take away from them. So actually at 5 this year, 1, I had to award earlier because he couldn't have been his son's playing a World Series or something. Officer Sister Nino. Recognition of outstanding professionalism, investigative excellence, and dedication to service for maintaining proactive policing and high quality investigations while managing demanding court and transport duties. An appreciation of excellent, exceptional leadership as a field training officer, mentoring new officers and strengthening the department. Recognize the detailed, accurate reporting, sound knowledge of the law, the ability to safely de-escalate critical incidents, including a commendable response to a March 23rd, 2025 crisis. Your leadership, composure, and commitment to excellence have made a lasting impact on this department. Officer Kaifas. Officer Barry Kaifas demonstrated exceptional dedication despite working full-time hours for another agency, consistently stepping up to fill numerous shifts and support department operations. As a school resource officer at Lake Elementary, he built strong positive relationships with students, staff, and parents, earning widespread respect and trust. His commitment to service and community engagement reflects the high standards of professionalism that makes him highly deserving of department excellence. kind of a funny note, when they work at schools, like Officer Kaitis and Sergeant Brodzinski, they wear their first names because the kids call them Officer Kevin and Officer Perry. They had special name tags made up of that, except yours says what? Officer Strawberry. Sergeant Brodzinski. Recognition of exceptional service for leadership, performance, and dedication to service. For ranking number one in calls handled, citations, and parking citations while excelling supervisory responsibilities. In appreciation of proactive enforcement leading to significant drug arrests and successful felony outcomes. Recognized for leadership as a TASER instructor, operational support, from unwavering commitment to both the department and community, even under challenging circumstances. Your professionalism, initiative, and integrity set the standard for excellence. Okay. Recognition of outstanding dedication, professionalism, and commitment to service for working over 2,100 hours without an absence, demonstrating proactive policing and ranking among the top officers in citations, calls handled, and arrests. For courageous life-saving actions during a critical Lake Erie incident, and for exceptional compassion through selfless service to the community. Your integrity, initiative, and unwavering commitment set the standard for excellence. And that's what I heard it from the officer here. We're gonna spare you all the photographs. We're gonna go outside and do that, so we don't feel longer.
Email a list to the customer of.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Other Officer Strawberry.
Congratulations.
What's in the cup, Chief? What's in the cups, Chief?
All right, we'll move on to questions to administration and department heads. Big questions to start with. The sharp increase of police calls in June, I look for e-bikes, scooters.
Why, and in fact, I talked to the chief before the meeting tonight, and the largest increase was in selective enforcement. And he did seem to think was part of the e-bikes and scooter thing.
Yeah.
There was also, if you look at it, the number of parking where they pulled them over, they may have given warnings, but there were citations that issued at some. But between the speeding and the selective enforcement, that's where I saw the biggest increase.
Thank you. Questions? Judy.
Good evening. I have questions that I'd like to ask regarding clarification on the Overlook Beach Park revetment plan. I know we went over a lot of this on Thursday evening at the Parks and Rec meeting. After hearing that information, I know now that our re-review or the review of the comments is now pending with ODNR. So, and we hope that it will be a faster turnaround than the first time. Is there anything else that we could be doing in the meantime, or are we sort of in the same bucket we have been for the last 9 months, which is just wait and see what they say?
It's pretty much just wait and see at this point.
Wait and see, all right,
But they assured us of faster review.
okay,
It's really pretty much just responding to their comments.
okay,
They're pretty much incorporated all the time. So
all right.
there's not a whole lot they can say we didn't.
Okay, thanks. And second, I know that originally we were not planning to involve US Army Corps of Engineer, that was, but given the submerged land lease issue and that they are sort of now involved, we did ask again for no permit status, I understand, so that we wouldn't have to wait on them. I think that was the reason we didn't want to involve them. But now that, I mean, they have looked over things, they're quoting their standards. Is there a possibility we could end up being held to their permitting standards, even though we're not officially asking for?
Let me just take a step back.
Okay, sure.
We designed the equipment to avoid forest events. Okay?
Okay.
We don't touch below the ordinary high water mark.
Right.
We do not need a core.
Okay,
That's why we designed it to stay out of the core. The core is 18 months.
Right.
That's a given. If you have to do an individual permit. So we actually designed it to avoid that. ODNR, so I know, Corps of
Okay.
Engineers, standards out to try to have us do the Corps of Engineers standards rather than their own being. So that's where the work came in. We did reach out to them because there were changes made with Biggerstone close to the water. And we did get a response that there is no core permit required.
okay. So there's not a possibility we're gonna end up in a different 18-month quagmire than what we have been in. All right, great.
That was intention.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that intent was still in place. All right,
Or won't look at it until we get our,
okay.
that we had done that. So-
All right. And lastly, I think my perception of your role may have changed. Now, you are our city engineer, but with respect to CEC and these plans, since you are no longer employed with them, have your responsibilities or role for us, the city, is that different? Has that changed? Do you see that that has changed? And if so, how? How is your role different now that you are no longer with CEC is really my question than it was.
So when I left CDC, we made a decision to leave the design projects with CDC. So we're not changing courses from the horse race.
Okay.
I'm still very involved with those projects in my role as a city engineer. I still review them. I still call them, ask them what's going on. I'm your face now to make sure things are getting done. But the actual design work, they're getting paid to do that work. Same with on Southland. So as far as I come in and try to help, it's really their responsibility. And I'm just trying to help because we deserve, the city deserves, because that's them taken care of. And I take a lot of ownership in that, so nothing really changed other than once the design projects that they're doing are done, we probably see them anymore. We'll probably, as things go out there, like the storm sewer project next time. So we didn't have to get someone else involved. The projects are bigger than what I can do myself or with few people I have working with me. We'll bring a different sub, the best qualified stuff we have to do that work.
Okay.
Okay, but also oversee it, just like the Amber.
And you, so I mean, you are our engineering advocate for the city. Thank you. So,
This question is for anybody in the administration. I appreciate what the position with Severino. But the poor people in Southland have put up with this for quite a while. Everyone has to admit that. And it's sad that we see that senior citizens are out there picking up rocks on their own. And I believe at one time there was this comments or suggestion about hiring a landscaper and deducting that fee from Severino's fee. Can we give him a drop deadline that says you will have this fixed by this date, or we're going to do that? Because this has gone on long enough.
So this is more of a legal question than an engineering question, but we've done that to him before. Without jumping.
But I don't think we should go ahead into the fall season with those properties being messed up.
He's gonna keep hearing from me every day. That's what.
I can appreciate that.
Eventually, he's gonna come out here just what he's not hearing from me.
Well, I can appreciate that, Mr. Parker, but by the same token, he can ignore it too.
So we've already told him you're not accepting the topsoil, so he had to go back and redo his estimate, take that out, we're not paying for it.
Okay,
Because what he delivered was not topsoil.
I understand
So if
that.
he wants to get paid for that, we also are holding on to his routine.
I'm just trying to look for ways for the people in South
Absolutely.
to be made whole quickly.
I have a regular correspondence with one of the residents there by email. She knows everything that's going on, so then. She
Okay.
understands we're doing the best we can. And sort of getting the guy dragging by his collar up there.
Can we do that?
He's a big guy. Might take several of us.
Okay. Oh, we got a new backhoe back there.
Let's see what happens this week and see if he follows through.
Okay.
Because then I think we'll need to do the same thing we did is, we decided he's a man of the job. At this point, we're in contact with the bonding company to finish the job.
Okay,
It's legally not, but we would do that.
gotcha.
He truly abandoned the job, which we could say he has, because he hasn't come back when he said it. That's how we got started this year.
All right. At least there's some progress going somewhere. Thank you very much.
Other questions? Anyone else? All right, hearing none, we will move on to board committee commission reports. Ordinance committee.
The ordinance committee met on June 29 at 6:30 PM. All committee members were in attendance along with Council President Johnson, Council Vice President Morris, and member of the public, Ms. Tazy. With regard to the regulation of backyard chicken coops, changes were made to the working draft from the prior meeting and incorporated into the latest version and were reviewed. The prohibition, for example, the prohibition on egg cells was removed, penalties were adjusted, and the flock limit was increased from 4 to 6 birds. Types of fowl other than chickens and ducks were prohibited. Notably, following additional research on self-built coop plans, the committee is now agreeable to raising the maximum allowable coop shelter height to 10 feet when measured from the ground. Fences, including run enclosures, would still need to comply with the current fence zoning code. This latest draft has been forwarded for review by the administration and zoning administrator, the police chief and law director, and comments are coming back there for discussion at our next meeting. Regarding the recording of all public meetings, committee members agree that requiring audio but not video recordings of all meetings of a public body may be an acceptable compromise between the concerns about video recording raised by multiple members of these groups and the committee's desire for greater public transparency and participation. Committee is working on formal communication back to all public bodies whose input was solicited on this topic. Groups should continue to comply with all Ohio open meeting laws, including advanced public announcement of meetings and protection of sensitive information via properly entered and documented executive session. The committee also discussed a possible initiative for volunteers who serve their city on a public body, including an introduction to the law and best practices regarding the conduct of public meetings. Committee will begin working on draft legislation for this requirement. And finally, regarding the request to change the scooter laws, the committee drafted an additional paragraph for 416.12 and 416.14, explicitly requiring all sidewalk riders who approach an unregulated intersection to yield the right of way to vehicular traffic in the roadway. While this requirement is already considered a legal duty of pedestrians earlier in chapter 416, and therefore it applies to scooter and device riders, the language has been repeated in the subsection applying specifically to device users to provide improved clarity. This should enhance safety, education, and enforcement efforts. The change has been reviewed by the administration and approved by Lieutenant Messenger. We will proceed to introduce this amendment back to council at the next available opportunity. We adjourned at 7:18 PM. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Committee of the whole met on last night, Monday, July 13th at 6:30 PM. Present were Mr. Bittner, Mr. Gray, Ms. Wong, Mr. Elam, Mr. Morris, and myself. Also present were Mayor Eva, Administrative Director Mrs. Valentine, and Law Director Mr. Seaman. The subject was 2026-R-22 and 2026-O-04. Finance Committee Chairman, Mr. Elam, requested that 2026-0-O-04 be returned to council and withdrawn in its entirety. A motion was made by Mr. Bittner, second by Mr. Elam. Discussion was on the motion. Mr. Elam's original proposal for $5,000 was never intended to be seriously considered, but intended to spark discussion, which it did. Proposal is to start fresh, review administration's proposal, and move forward. The motion was passed 6-0. We had a discussion on 2026-R-22. And the process is different this year due to the new state law. The budget levies are not changed. They are the same as the previous years. This is just a request for those taxes. The new process involves a spreadsheet with allocating general fund money to show the need for the tax levies. Additional scrutiny is on the justification and the need for the tax revenues. There's a motion to adjourn made by Mr. Moore, second by Mr. Bittner, 6-0, and it adjourned at 6:48 PM. Are there any other additions or any other board committee or commission reports that are not listed here? Parks and Rec, yes.
Parks and Rec met on July 9th at 6:30. All members were present. There's a lengthy discussion on the revetment of Lake Overlook. After the ODNR. The comments were received. That was actually presented by Mr. Parker and Jeff. That's it, who's the one who actually designed the project himself. Very good discussion in that. After that, we discussed the step challenge that would be finalized, and just want everybody to know there's gonna be a step challenge within the city. Look out for the QR codes that will be coming out. Prizes, it's just something fun that the committee is, or the board is doing. We went over some of the other events with the Fall Fest, Loba, or the Lake Overlook Beach Park, the grand opening. We're looking at doing something for the playground that's been tabled for now. So maybe the area gets cleaned up a little better. We would like to do a kind of reopening. Meeting was adjourned at 8:39.
Okay, thank you. Were there any other board committee or commissioner reports tonight? Hearing none, we will go to open to the public to speak. If you'd like to speak, please come to the lectern, state your name and address for the record. This is your opportunity to speak to council. It is not a back and forth with council.
Susan Schick, 75 39 Flag Road. So I was able to attend the meeting for Parks and Recreation on Thursday night. And I did hear the discussion about the progress at Oval Park. So this is what this is about. So I drive by the park every day on my way to work. I've been watching the playground being put in deep installed. And it really is great now to see so many families enjoying this playground. So good job, Matt. I also learned then from the meeting on Thursday that this portion of local park project was paid for with the $300,000 grant that Menron Lake was awarded. This is just something I was not aware of. It's wonderful. I'm saying what's wrong with that. So thank you to the city as you work together to take advantage of these grant dollars. The revetment portion though for the project, when that was being discussed during the meeting, I was surprised when I heard that there's a request to add stairs for our service department because to get down to the lake, because apparently the ramp will be too steep and hard for people to traverse. And so I asked about this because I know one of the things that our residents all asked for, the number one thing was to have access to the lake. And I haven't seen the drawing, so I can't comment on the drawings, but maybe that. Letting know that it was a little surprised to hear that, and including a few people sitting around me were surprised to hear that. So, and I'm also understanding from going to the meeting why the ODNR approval has taken so long because of the lack of employees. So nothing that we do about some of those kind of things. But where I'm going with this, these are the type of things that I believe would probably be really helpful if we can communicate this better with our residents. So overall, again, what would be helpful in to prevent any misunderstanding as to what is going on with the construction progress on their part, since it's what our city all agreed to in their tax dollars to pay for, would be to have some way to maybe communicate this to everyone. I looked on the website to see if I could find anything regarding any kind of timeline, progress, anything. I didn't find anything other than saying the park is not open. Other than that, I didn't find anything else. So maybe there is something and I'm not finding it. But it was good to come to the meeting and hear things that were going on. I know there's been some questioning and hearsay, people going to some of these meetings. Some people in the community even asking me about these things. So just helpful. And I'm just wondering, is that something that can be added? Or is there a place on the website that I'm not aware of that maybe it's talking about the timeline?
But I think like, you don't really have things. We have to, our, we submitted it to ODNR and now, just wait, like they don't give us a timeline or anything. So.
So maybe even, okay, so maybe just an update and a projected timeline or something to go back.
I find that if you promise timelines, you can't deliver, that sometimes.
Well, I'm not saying you're gonna say it to be done by a certain date, but at least just continuing to check what progress is to like. Maybe for people who won't get it on, when people know why things go back. But that's what I'm talking about, just. I used to work in construction, actually, I did a lot of timeline type things, and I know that the timelines change. So, but I do think that the all residents here that have been questioning why it's still in the state that it's in. With the development, what's.
Yeah, if I could suggest maybe just, yeah, like you say, an update that just says, you know, this is where we are right now on the park plan. This is what the holdup is right now, you know, something so that people are aware of it, a little more on. What the delay is, that it's on ODNR, and just that we're waiting for, so.
And I think maybe just like a monthly little blurb saying, you know, still waiting on ODNR, or if any updates were out there. I don't think it would have to be every week or everything, but I think once a month, just something, a little push out there to say this is where we are. We've heard nothing, you know, just something.
Yeah, yeah. I know people are anxious to find out, you know, where is this going? Why haven't you heard anything? We see playground equipment going in, but we still haven't seen, you know, revetment done or whatever. The beach is still eroding. Just, you know, whatever we can communicate with them, the better. So. Thanks. Anyone else wish to speak tonight?
Just want to thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I didn't plan that, but I'm like. Rhoda Bergman, 7607 Salida. A few weeks back, I was concerned about my neighbor's property. They are violating 3 different ordinances. They weeds, they never ever have grass cut for probably 2 weeks. Their garbage can is out on the street every day of the year. And they have an unlicensed and probably inoperable car in the weeds by their house. And we see it all. I don't know where to go or what to do. I've written about it. My husband came up and showed pictures about it. We get absolutely not much of a response at all. Is there a zoning person I should go to? Who does this?
What is the address there,
The address. Let's see, we're 7605, they're probably 7615.
16.
16,
7616.
yeah. I mean, it's really bad. And we keep our property nice. And we can have people come over and they say, well, what's bad about it? This is men around the lake, come on, guys. What's the enforcement rule for something like this? And that's what I'm concerned about and frustrated about. Thank you.
I'm sorry, it's 7615.
You. Anyone else tonight?
Chris Schick, 7539 Salat Road, my wife. Nice. Do we have a new cost estimate on the total of that? Still. Budget?
We're very close, it went up. We're using larger guns, but yes, we're still with the.
Is the latest submittal fully clear and obvious to the short staff ODNR in order to avoid additional resubmittal?
That's a loaded question.
Okay, what would you consider to be the weakest point of that design?
Actually, we probably, you have an exposure with the hall. This is what's the Hall Road, Staten Harbor. Right. But it's also faced northeast. Not a common erosion characteristic from the lake. That's why you talk your back there, but if there's a weak point. It's behind the head. Without.
And do we have an estimated design life of this project?
50 years.
50. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll close this portion up to the public speak. We'll now move on to legislation before council. First up is resolution number 2026-R-22. We should read third reading. So referred to committee of the whole, just come back from the committee of the whole now. Please read it by its title.
Resolution number 2026-R-22, third reading. A resolution approving the 2027 budget.
Okay. And this is due by the end of the month or
Oh, let's do,
today? Okay, so,
this one back. Before you.
okay, just want to make sure. Any discussion on this?
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Mr. Bittner,
Second,
second by Mrs. Thompson for approval. Roll call, please.
Mr. Morris,
Aye.
Mrs. Thompson,
aye.
Mr. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Bittner,
Aye.
Ms. Wong,
Aye.
Mr. Elam,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye. Ordinance number 2026-0-04, if you could please read it by its title.
Second reading, correct.
I kept on second reading.
Ordinance number 2026-0-04, second reading, referred to committee of the whole. An ordinance amending Division C of Section 227.01 of the codified ordinances of the city of Mentor on the Lake to reduce the $5,000 to $5,000 the amount in excess of which council approval is required for non-routine purchases or contracts.
Okay, this came back from the committee of the whole with a referral to be withdrawn. Is there a motion to withdraw this from the agenda?
Motion to withdraw.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Thompson, second by Mr. Bittner. Roll call, please.
Mr. Morris,
Aye.
Mrs. Thompson,
Aye.
Mr. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Bittner,
Aye.
Ms. Wong,
Aye.
Mr. Elam,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye, it's been withdrawn. Ordinance number 2026-0-08, if you could please read it by its title.
Ordinance number 2026-0-08. An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Mentor on the Lake to enter into an agreement with the Lake County Board of Commissioners to participate in the Urban Entitlement Community Development Block Grant, CDBG program, and for the utilization of funds made available by the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended and declaring an emergency.
This is due when?
August 3rd.
Okay, so we have one more meeting to deal with. Okay.
Excuse me, did you say that there was language in this that needed to change, or does this read the way it's supposed to?
I added the link, I went to the last here, because the last time we did it, and I added all the paragraphs that were added to this document, so it should be updated.
So it reads as we should be passing it. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on this tonight? Okay, this will go on to second reading. So we have no other legislation tonight. Old business. Do we have any old business tonight? New business.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Regarding Blystones, I think we need to decide if the city wants to sell our city property to Blystones specifically. I'm neither pushing for or against it, but I think we need to, because it's been opened to them, we need to let them know what our intentions are in regard to the property that they are interested in purchasing.
Okay,
Can I ask a question? Who opened it to them? Did administration, did you reach out to them?
I did, yes, probably, January, February, March, for
Okay.
first quarter, yes, I suggested, if they wanted to expand, that we would move what we have there, and, if they were interested, to let them know, and then Mr. Elam followed up.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thanks.
yes,
So where do we stand with this? Are we waiting for them to give us an offer on the property or are we getting an appraisal?
They're waiting for us to give them a figure.
We're not gonna appraise anything unless you guys wanna sell it.
Right. My last conversation with them was they're waiting on, they're waiting on a price issue.
Last time we discussed potential sale of city property, we did this in an executive session. Is that appropriate at this point?
would you like to make a motion to go into executive session?
I make a motion to go into executive session for the discussion of the possible sale of public property. Is that right?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Wong, second by Mr. Gillum to go into executive session to discuss this potential sale of public property. Roll call, please.
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mrs. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Gray?
Aye.
Mr. Bittner?
Aye.
Ms. Wong?
Aye.
Mr. Elam?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye. Going into executive session.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's sort of staff, that's right, none of the stuff was ever enforced and taken. This is a great staff and looking at it. The judge is not involved, but none of this. Now we have to go back and throw it in. Right. That's happening.
That we're trying.
Ooh.
Take my seat. Don't tell me what to do, bud.
Classes in session.
Don't tell me. Tell me, stand right
I
here.
was gonna stand up like ask.
Never asked for my comments.
Stop now, Jeannie.
All right, I call this meeting back to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Morris,
Here.
Mrs. Thompson,
Here.
Mr. Gray,
Here.
Mr. Bittner,
Here.
Ms. Wong,
Here.
Mr. Elam,
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here. Is there any other new business tonight? That doesn't involve executive session again.
I have a question. I'm trying to understand with where the parking ordinance is and why it needs to go back to planning and zoning again. Planning and zoning has already given their recommendation for size and weight, and I don't, like I said, I don't know what else they can look at.
We just want them to look at it to confirm that the changes that are being made is what their expectations are.
There was an additional thing. The committee
Yes.
realized that the definitions that were proposed to use to define a commercial vehicle might conflict with what planning and zoning intended when it came to their restriction of one commercial vehicle per property for a single wide driveway and a limit of 2 commercial vehicles for a double wide driveway. So
We didn't
in
want
that respect, would they want us to restrict the commercial vehicle definition, or would they want to loosen the number of commercial vehicles that could park for property?
All right, so that's the question.
It was to get guidance from them,
Yeah.
or something else that we discovered
just to prevent any potential
back and forth.
back and forth and any potential laws that might impede someone's
We could.
way of life.
Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other new business? Hearing none, we'll go to open to the public to speak. Ken, if you'd like to speak, please come to the lectern, state your name and address for the record. Hearing none, we will move on to announcements and settings of meetings. What do we have?
Finance.
Finance.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hunt, Mr. President, did you formally assign revision of 22701 to finance? As part of withdrawing it from the,
Not officially, but they are welcome to take it up.
all right.
I was not going to mention that it's at the meeting. What I have down here is Finance Committee 7/27 at 6:30. Topic would be look to coordinate or look at the coordination between council and administration for certain financial matters. This 227, whatever it is in particular, we would be looking at also. But look at the bigger picture.
Okay, so that's July 27th, 6:30 PM.
Yes.
The room is open.
Other meetings.
Ordinance committee, I think we decided Thursday, August 6th
Fifth one.
for ordinance committee.
Ordinance.
I'm sorry.
Thursday, August 6th at
6:30.
6:30.
6:30.
Okay.
That's not me.
And
Ordinance August 6th, 6:30 PM.
zoning committee, August 5th at 7 PM.
Yes.
It was 7 PM.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
We are meeting after the 28th. BZA is scheduled to meet on Monday, July 20th. at 7 p.m.
BZA, July 20th at 7 p.m. Next regular meeting of council is July 28th, 7 p.m. Anything else?
Motion for adjournment.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Morris, second by Mrs. Thompson for adjournment. Roll call, please.
Mr. Morris,
Aye.
Ms. Thompson,
Aye.
Mr. Gray,
Aye.
Mr. Bittner,
Aye.
Ms. Wong,
Aye.
Mr. Elam,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye, we are adjourned.